Hi you guys, Stephanie here with Coffee Paper Scissors. I worked on a couple of more quilt patterns. So this is the one that we put together, or I put together and showed you already. And then we put this one together yesterday. And I stitched around it and inked around it. And it's a pinwheel. I said star, but I was told by a couple of people who are quilters or have quilted or are currently quilting, it's a pinwheel. And I knew that, but I just couldn't think of it. I made this one. I think this is so pretty. I love this one. I stitched around it and inked around it. And then today we were going to be making some dividers. So this is the first one that I made, and I would say just an easy pattern, but there's nothing easy about these measurements because the book that I'm putting these into, I'm trying to fit that book. And so, you know, my dividers are a certain size to fit the book. And so then I have to make my pieces a certain size to fit this. And it would be much easier if it was, you know, 6 by 10 or something, but it's like 6 and a little by 10 and a little, and I'm not good with a little. So, wow. The one I thought we would put together today, once again, I don't know what the pattern is called, but if you can see here in this picture, it's this one. And to me, they look like thread spools. I don't know what it is. There's probably a name for that, I am quite sure. But that's that little block right there, or blocks. That's what we're going to try and make today. Don't know if you could see that tiny little picture, but you'll know what I mean once we get started. So this is going to be the back side of, you know, what we'll be seeing. And we're going to go ahead and start gluing down. I've got it over here in my pattern, and this one, do I say it? This one should be easier. Once again, I didn't get wipes to dry for wiping my hand. I might be flipping the paper around quite a bit at first because I'm trying to get it right on the line. And I can't see very well without sticking my head right under the camera. Okay. This is a double-sided. I'm intentionally putting glue on this side. I had to go through so many paper packs to find pages or papers. And of course I thought, when I started this, I thought, oh, you know, that'll help me to use up some scraps. Wrong. I've created so many more scraps now than I had before. But that's okay. They're never ending, so I might as well give up on trying, right? When I first started making this pattern this morning, I was just picking out, you know, the pattern paper that I like and that the colors went well together. But what I began to realize was the visible pattern of the particular, what to me looks like a spool of thread, you know, this thing. It doesn't show up unless you have an obvious distinction between, you know, like a pattern and an almost non-pattern. It wasn't showing up otherwise. So I had to then rethink a lot of the work I had already done. And then also a shortcut that I am using or doing I'll show you here in just a second. I know some of you who are quilters are saying, that's not right. I'm sure it isn't. I don't know how they come up with their measurements, but I'm cheating a little. Okay, so then this on top. So what I'm sure happens normally is the paper is cut, you know, here, or not paper, but fabric would be cut here and here and here and here, and you would sew it together in some magical way. But I'm not doing that. I'm sticking my square right on top. That's how I'm doing it. And I inked around my square just to make it more prominent. And my square, I'm doing the same pattern, or not pattern, but I'm doing the same. So this is hard, getting it lined up in each of the, you know, so that the corner is where the fabric or the paper hits. That was hard. It was hard to get that measurement for me to not be too big, too small. It was hard. Okay, and then this has writing on it. So each time I'm making sure the writing is going in the direction of this, you know, particular one. I'm gonna get a wet wipe just for my fingers because I've got ink on my fingers and it's smearing. If nothing else, at least I can clean the glue off of my fingers and the ink. For right now. Okay. Yes, I went through like maybe 5 different paper packs going through trying to find good patterns, and then also I dug into some of my 6x6s to find some, so I had paper everywhere again. Okay, I hope this one fits well. I don't know what would have been better to start with this one. Probably, because that's not going to fit well. Hopefully I can get it off. I'm going to leave that right there. I'm going to stick this one down first instead. The couple of times that I have made quilts, and like I said, I just do like square, you know, just a patchwork of squares. And when I come to things that aren't quite right, I just kind of shrug my shoulders, you know. I don't think that goes over well, you know, ends up having your seams are not right and all that kind of thing, but that's why I wouldn't really be good at it. I have patience for some things, but I don't know if I have that much patience. I'm sure that you learn techniques, though, to make it easier. I was watching some video of people making squares, you know, for their quilts. And the different ways that they sew them together is just really brilliant, I would say. Okay, and then I'm not real concerned about the things that are, that's just not good. That's a little off. Oh my goodness, you guys. I'm gonna what do I do? Do I overlap it a little? What do I do? This poor piece of paper. If I mess with it too much and I don't have it lined up, my square on top isn't going to be quite right. Oh boy, let's see. So now to get that a straight line across, I don't know, I'm just going to do this one. Doesn't it make me, or am I not inspiring you to try this? Frustrating doggone thing. Try it. It's great. Yeah, it's a little off, but it's hard to say why, except for the fact that it's me doing it. I think what I'll do is, well, there's going to be trimming involved, definitely. Definitely for sure. This piece of paper over here with the 3 layers on it. It'll be interesting to see how that turns out. Okay, I'm lining this one up so that there's not a gap in between. So it makes it off, you know, over here, but I can trim my paper down. Now let's see. Yeah, it's really hanging off over here, but don't tell anyone. Okay, so it's December 1st, and I'm supposed to be starting a December daily, right? So I thought, you know, I talked to my daughter yesterday about thinking of fun things to do that we could write about, and so that it's not an empty December daily. And one of the things that we talked about doing, I'm overlapping that just a little bit. I hope I don't regret it. The problem is this thing's not going to fit exactly on top now, I don't think, but we'll see. Anyway, one of the things that we talked about doing is in Spokane each year they have something called Christmas Tree Elegance, I think is what it's called. And I've done it kind of in the past. I've gone to it, but I haven't participated. I've just gone and been a looky-loo. But what it is they have beautiful, beautiful Christmas trees decorated in themes, and you can win. So you buy tickets, and the money goes to this, I think it's the Spokane Symphony Orchestra. They're the ones that put it on. Anyway, you get to put in a ticket for the ones that you like, and you win the tree, but you win prizes to go along with the tree. So for instance, it could be like a camping themed tree, and then along with the tree there could be an overnight stay somewhere, or you know, this or that, just all kinds of different themes and ideas. They canceled it, and I knew that they had changed it because I was reading about it just the other day, and they had just changed it so that it wasn't going to be as big, and you know, hopefully not draw as many crowds and that sort of thing. Well, it's canceled altogether now. And so I was like, well, I thought maybe that's what we would go do today so that we would have something fun to write about. But no, so we're not doing that. Well, anyway, so I think it looks okay, but the problem is going to be now all of them are going to be kind of up a little. We'll see. We shall see. We're just going to glue the next one down and see how it turns out. But anyway, so we found something else to go and try and do. So I'm excited about that. So I'm going to do my video and get ready, and we're going to go and have a little girl time downtown. I don't go shopping downtown in Spokane very often. There isn't really much. Like I've said before, I'm really not a shopper, so there's that. And then the things that are down there, well, first of all, you have to pay for parking, and that's just a pain. You have to find parking, you know. You can park in the mall parking, which usually has plenty of spaces, but you know, it's not free, that's for sure. And then if you park on the street, you have to plug a meter, and hopefully you put enough in for the length of time. And then there's little parking lots that you have to go and pay the little thingy for how long you think you'll be there. So it's just a pain, you know. You don't just drive, park, and get out and go. So I tend to not. But I thought, since they're having some holiday themed thing going on down there that we're going to do, I'll tell you about it hopefully as we're journaling about it. Since we're going to do, you know, do something, I figured, why not? Why not? It seems that the first square turns out fine. It's just putting the next one in that it seems to throw me off, because this one is okay. Yeah, that one's really turning out fine. Well, cross our fingers the next one will too. I always buy the kids those little piece of chocolate a day kind of advent calendars. So they got to dig into those this morning. I've never gotten one for myself. Maybe I said this already. I really like chocolate, so why don't I ever get one for myself? And they always say that the chocolate in it is really good. Okay. Maybe if I go like this, I'll make better decisions. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is glue in this one first. And while it's still a little bit movable, okay, that's good. And there are a little bit there is a little bit of a gap, but the paper's so light that you really don't see it. several months ago it snowed. I think it was December, and I'm pretty sure, I mean not December, September, and I'm pretty sure that I said in a video, you know, as it was happening, I might have even showed you or shown you out the window that it was snowing and it was September, and I said it had never in my history of living here, never snows that early. Well, you know, all of the leaves were still on the trees. That's awful. Hanging off. All of the leaves were still on the trees, and so it broke one of our trees in several places, but it was so full of leaves still, it was hard to get to any of those. So yesterday my husband was up in there trying to cut the broken branches, quite a few of them. The poor thing is going to look pretty funny for a little while. I know that they're really good at filling themselves out again, but I mean, some serious breakage happened, and he's having a hard time getting one of them out because, you know, the branches are all like intertwined with each other, and so the broken one is now stuck to the ones that aren't broken, and I'm afraid now he's going to break those ones trying to get it out. Poor tree. It's a maple, big maple tree, and I love maple trees because when I was growing up, we had a big maple tree in our front yard or side yard, I don't know, that we climbed in all the time. It was so big and fat. The trunk was just fat, and you know, several of us would sit on one branch at a time. It was sturdy enough, you know, to hold us. Big tree. And so it just, I love maple trees because of that. I'm like, you know, we got to be good to those trees. That one is going to be really good for a kid to climb in one day. It was actually pretty small when we first moved here. I have pictures of my kids kind of hanging on it and stuff, but like really bendy branches at that point. And then now they're pretty sturdy, but not so sturdy that the heavy snow didn't break them. My mom would get mad. The city would come along and cut part of the tree, like a big chunk of the tree out because of power lines, you know? And my mom would get so frustrated. She'd be like, now the tree looks so ridiculous because there's like this huge bite out of it. I mean, I understand why they did it, and I know she understood why they did it, but still looked awfully funny. I've got a bunch hanging over on this side. We'll cut that off. Imagine, though, if you were doing a really big something, and by the time you got to the other side, you'd lose an entire row by the time you got done. I don't know if you know what I mean, but so being just a little bit off when it comes to this is being a lot off, really, I think. Pretty colors, though, I think. I like them. I went through some of my cards and papers, just like, not scrapbook paper, but odds and ends pieces of paper yesterday, trying to find things that would go. I think it's going to turn out really pretty. I hope so. Some of these are double-sided, so I got to use the other side of the butterflies for the one down here. So that was good. So 1 less set of scraps that I have to figure out what to do with. That's a lot that I'm going to have to cut off down here at the bottom. So much for my measuring. I have another one ready to glue together, but I'll just show it to you because, you know, it takes a long time and you get the idea. There's somebody at the front door. Hopefully it's nothing important because, you know, if it is, they'll ring again, I hope. It's probably just dropping off or something. Oh, I hear my husband coming up the stairs. I don't know what it was. Now I'm curious because somebody actually rang the doorbell, but when my husband got there, nobody was there. But we have that thing where you can see who was there. You know, the recording. But if somebody was trying to be sneaky and take something, you know how they are at Christmas time, they wouldn't have rang the doorbell and drawn attention to themselves. Oh, okay, somebody's there now. The guy, I don't know, there's somebody at the door looking for an address similar to mine. And you know how streets will have a north and a south, that sort of thing? I live on one of those streets, so that's probably the problem. It's terrible when, you know, you can't trust anything happening. I'm sure he's, who knows, honest guy and all that kind of stuff, but I'm glad it's my husband answering the door and not me. This is another one of those that I'm able to use the back side of one, so that's good. So have you guys done a lot of Christmas shopping? Do you do lots of Christmas shopping? It seems it has only increased as my kids get older. It was so easy when they were little, you know, you just buy them the toys, they are thrilled about it, and there we go. But it's so much harder now because you can't just go and pick out a toy for them. And the things that they do like are very expensive. Yeah. There's quite a bit of gap on that one. And then look at all this down here. I did such a good job. Hanging off really far. Oh my goodness, you guys, it's horrible. Oh well. I'm sure that's not going to move at all. Oh well, oh well. I don't think anybody's going to look that close. It's just going to be a secret between you and me. I'm just going to overlap this one slightly to get it in just a little bit. I think I had to do that somewhere else, but that's okay. I'm hoping that the pattern, you know, shows up obviously to you. I was trying to get the lighter colors, very almost no patterned paper to be, you know, this one, this one, this one, and then this one is darker, and obviously it, but still it was this one that I was planning on being the, whatever the thing is called that we're making here. So I will stitch around this one and I will ink around it after it's all dry, and it's going to be beautiful. Open this up so it can dry a little bit. It'll be ready for me. Okay. I don't know how obvious it'll be once it's cut. Maybe not at all, maybe some. Let's find out. Oh, there's, yeah, this corner up here is a little funky. Alrighty, well there it is. I mean, I think it's really cute, and then just inking and sewing is gonna add to it quite a bit. And then the back side looks like that. So the one that we will, I'll just do on my own and show you. I'll show it to you now, but I'll show you when it's all finished as well. It's going to be like this. On this one, I inked around each square and I inked around each heart. So I think that's going to be really cute too. Anyway, I hope you liked it, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.